Welcome back. It's been a while since we've done a motorcycle show. The reason is we had a fire in this particular building about a month ago, and it was a horrible fire. It just burned the whole villa down. It was really bad, and it destroyed mostly all my stuff that I had. Destroyed like 50 of the motorcycle trophies. I have only a few left over here, but the good part is I have my good motorcycle trophies. I have some of my exciting ones at Costa Mesa, my championship cup, and my Little League baseball trophies, my all-star trophies when I played baseball. So it wasn't all that bad, but we spent the last month remodeling this house. We tore out this wall that I'm standing under right now, and we made a nice spot for my motorcycles. So it's really great. And my bicycle too. I have a beach cruiser, and we were able to just work hard for the last month. And here's the bathroom CR. It was all black. It was terrible, but we got it all fixed up. We're still working. I bought this rack when I was on vacation in Cebu for the motorcycle uniform and also for my racing, my Speedway racing uniform. So it's really great. Able to have a place for my trophies right here. So that was great. And have a place for my bumblebee suit that I need to clean. So it's been quite the month. Some of my friends, they messaged me and said like, why aren't you doing a lot of the motorcycle shows? And I was very busy. You know, my business before I moved to the Philippines was a licensed contractor. So I was able to use my skills helping out, buying materials, doing things to fix this villa up. It's beautiful white. It's all white, gorgeous. I keep all my motorcycles in here locked up at night. I'm going to get more tool racks and things, but here's some of, this was from the fire. And I keep all my stuff in here now, so it's really great. But today we're going to talk about some Speedway. Do you like Speedway? Did you miss it? We're going to talk about Speedway. So here we go. Let's talk about some back in the day when I was just a struggling Division III rider. Didn't really know how to ride the bike, just learning. I had the heart to want to be a motorcycle racer, a Speedway rider, but I didn't have the ability or the education. That came later. But I was racing at Costa Mesa back in the day, back in the early days, in the heydays of Speedway. And there was a racer by the name of Tumbleweed Walton. Patrick Tumbleweed Walton, rest in peace. He's no longer with us. He passed away a few years ago. But Patrick was very famous. And I used to look at Patrick and like, why is he so famous? Because he was a very heavyset guy. And he never finished a race, hardly. He crashed all the time. And the fans at Costa Mesa, they adored Tumbleweed. They didn't even know who I was at the time. But Tumbleweed was famous. He was famous. And I was not famous. And I was a little jealous of Tumbleweed. Like, how can this guy who's so like heavy set, he never finished a race. He wasn't very good, but he was famous. And when Tumbleweed raced, Larry Huffman used to announce his name, and the crowd would go crazy over Tumbleweed. And when they announced my name, they're like, nothing. They didn't even know who I was. So one race, I had a race with Tumbleweed. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm with Tumbleweed, because he used to crash people. He used to crash riders, and he would fall on top of the riders, and he weighed like 400 pounds. And when Tumbleweed fell on you, you were flat as a pancake. So I didn't want that. I didn't want Tumbleweed to like fall on me and smash me up. So I went ahead and told Tumbleweed, like,
hey dude, I don't want you to fall on me and do not crash me,
and
okay?
Tumbleweed looked a little startled, and I said,
don't fall on me because I will be
so
dead.
thank goodness and thank God above that Tumbleweed did not crash me. Although he crashed all the time, and he crashed by himself. Like I say, he hardly, if ever, finished a race. But he was a superstar. He was a mega star at Costa Mesa Speedway. Another rider that most of you don't remember, that I remember, his name is Fred Sidner. His number is 264. And Fred, he wore this baby blue outfit, leathers, kind of similar to Steve Bass back in '74. And I think it was '75, Steve Bass wore those blue leathers. But Fred was an up-and-coming rider. He was a D2 rider when I was a D3 rider. And he hauled ass. This guy was a bad dude. And he was a talented rider. I mean, Fred Sidner could ride a Speedway bike, something good. And I used to look up to him. And I used to say to Fred, like, hey, I really admire you. And, I hope one day I can be a good rider like you. And Fred was a nice guy, he said, just keep working hard and, you'll do it. And I did work hard and I did do it. But Fred started coming to the Speedway races when he was a spectator, and he was intoxicated and probably on some kind of drugs and stuff, really bad. And I was wondering, like, why is Fred doing this? Like, he's a racer. He needs to be taking care of his body and, becoming a good Speedway rider, not being on drugs. And I didn't really get a chance to talk to him much. And then the next thing I found out is Fred was dead. He overdosed on drugs. And he taught me a lesson through his passing that you should not do drugs. You should stay away from drugs. And you should focus as a racer on being competitive, not being hooked on substances. Just focus on practicing your starts to win the race, and to go ahead and stay clean, no smoking, no drinking, and just focus on being the best version that you can be. Speedway is awesome. It's an awesome sport. If you don't know much about Speedway, you gotta learn. Watch this channel. We do lots of Speedway. So please like, share, subscribe. We appreciate you. Speedway rocks. Sorry for not being here for a while. We're back in action. We appreciate you. Thank you so much. And we're going to see you next time.